Covenant. This is a 20th Century Fox. It's directed by Ridley Scott. So this movie stars Michael Fassbender, Billy Crudup, Danny McBride, and a bunch of other people that I don't even know. So I'm a moderate fan of the Alien series. I like the first two movies. Um, I I actually really like Prometheus. I'm a little indifferent towards the third and fourth movies, and I hated the two Aliens vs Predator movies. Now, I'm not a diehard fan like some other people, and my personal opinion is I think that even the first two movies, well, while they were really good, they're kind of overrated in my opinion. I own the original trilogy on DVD, but I've never really gone back and seen them after the first time I watched them, and I actually didn't even watch the third one when I bought that DVD package. Um, so just to start off, starting with Prometheus, I didn't have a problem with them not showing the necromorphs as much, because I really just wanted to see a good story, and I liked the story that he told. So with Alien Covenant, much of this centers around the android David from the first one, and it really focuses on his attempt to achieve what his creator, or his father, quote unquote, achieved. So there might be some mild spoilers ahead, ish, in a way. Um, you guys like this gun? It's pretty badass, huh? Anyway, much of this. So at the beginning of the movie, it opens with Guy Pearce's character having just created David, being asked, David asks his dad, "Well, then, who are you? Who created you?" And Guy Pearce responds, "Well, that is the question, isn't it?" And that's very important because later on it comes back to that, and essentially the whole movie is kind of parallels that whole thing when David wants to know, well, then who created you, right? My dad made me, and then who created him? So later on in the film, it cuts to the modern day or the future, whatever you want to consider it. There's a crew on a colonization mission, and they get a signal of a John Denver song just being broadcast out, and they track it. They track its origin to a nearby system that's only a few hours away. So this is right after they had just been awakened by Walter, which is another android. So all the crew's asleep and Walter's up. He wakes up the crew because there's a neutrino explosion accident, and because of that accident, their captain ended up burned alive, and so Billy Crudup, aka Doctor Manhattan, uh, takes over as captain, and he says they should go check it out. So he wants to go check it out because it's only a couple hours away, and their target planet is 7 years away, and he's saying that, well, nobody wants to go back into cryo sleep because it was just an accident, and we should just go check this out. It's only a couple hours versus 7 years going back into sleep. So they go and check it out. Now, two of the guys on the security detail get these airborne organisms inside of their system, and then just a couple minutes later, 10, 20 minutes later, something like that, these flesh-colored necromorphs spawn out of them. So one of them makes it onto a shuttle lander, and he's getting treated in the medical tent. But the end result of this is that one of the crew members starts freaking out, trying to shoot the thing. When it bursts out of him in the medical tent in the lander, she ends up hitting an explosive tank and blows up the whole lander. So now they have to later on they have to send a bigger one, which they can't send immediately, another lander, because there's some kind of an ion storm going on. And then they end up getting swarmed by these flesh-colored necromorphs, and David, the old android, shows up and fires a super bright flare up into the sky, and it scares them all away. And it appears that he saved them, and he takes them into this old city where there's a bunch of dead bodies around. So it turns out that these are the dead bodies of the engineers that used to live there, and this was a city where they lived. And so now this picks up back on the first movie, where it turns out David went with Elizabeth Shaw and dropped his bioweapon on the engineers and wiped them all out. So he actually killed them all. And as it turns out, David ends up being the creator of the necromorphs. So he's been stuck here, and over time he's been working and working and trying and developing, splicing genetics and trying to create what he perceives to be the perfect organism, so that he can be the creator, much like his father created him. Um, I don't want to give anything away, so I really enjoyed the film. It's a really contained story, and it seems like it takes place over just a couple of hours. It's a relatively small scale, um, and in the ending, I think it's setting it up for other movies. So yeah, there's some good action with the characters. Some of the characters die so quickly, and so little time is spent with them that you don't really even care who they are when they die, or you're not even the first two guys who get infected. You don't even know who they are. They're just cannon fodder, and it's like, oh, well, okay, those guys died. Uh, so I like how it was shot. Going to the cinematography, the sound is really good. I like the special effects. The acting's acceptable, nothing Oscar caliber, but it's good for this type of movie. Michael Fassbender was the best one in the entire movie, and I'm a big Michael Fassbender fan. I don't think he has an Oscar yet, but he's well on his way. The first time I really noticed him was in Quentin Tarantino's *Inglourious Basterds*, which is one of my favorite movies. And he's been great ever since. And there's quite a few people that play superheroes in this movie. You have Magneto, you've got the Mandarin, and you've got Doctor Manhattan, and maybe some other ones that I can't think of right now. But yeah, the movie was enjoyable. It wasn't a masterpiece. It didn't blow my mind. It was good. Um, I'm not, like I said, I'm not a diehard Alien fan. I'm a casual fan, and I liked it. So on the Star Strider scale, a 70. So that's it for this movie review. Leave your comments, subscribe, and I will see you later. All right, bye.